Hey guys, Justin Conroy, Financial Dad here, and today I want to talk to you about what you should do when you get a raise at work. Because the most likely scenario is that in the next 6 to 12 months, you're going to be making more money than you are today. And that leaves us with a great opportunity to not only increase our net worth, but also better our lives at the same time. So in this video, I want to go through some of the best options that you have when you get a raise so that you can be prepared and make sure that you make the right choices to make your life better. So with that, do me a favor and go ahead and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's go ahead and get this started. Now, the first thing I want you to do is put this in your head. When you get a raise, you are not going to ignore it. This is honestly one of the biggest mistakes people make, especially with smaller raises, because they think to themselves, oh, that's only $20 a week, that's only $10 a month, or whatever the case is. It's a small amount of money, and they just think, well, it doesn't really matter. It's not really all that much money. But the reality is that money adds up over time. It can add up to a lot, especially if you decide to invest. For example, did you know that between 1979 and 2019, the S&P 500 grew an annual rate of around 12%? That means that if you would have invested $1 in 1979, you would have over $100 now. That's a 100 times return on that money. So let's assume, for sake of example, that you got a $20 per month raise. That doesn't sound like much. $20 is not that big a deal for most people. But let's think about what that money could be. If you would invest your $20 per month into the S&P 500 over 40 years, and let's assume that it keeps the normal annualized rate that it has been for the last 40 years, which again is 12% per year, that $20 today could be worth over $200,000 in the future. Now that is a sizable chunk of money. That is not worth ignoring. So whatever your feelings are on your small little raise, we're using $20 for this example, however piddly you feel like it is, just keep in mind that that money could be worth over $100 of its current value today. And that is not something that is worth ignoring. So just keep that in mind. The worst thing you could possibly do is ignore your raise. So how do we go about not ignoring that money? Well, the first thing we need to do is make sure that we build that money into our budget. This is one of the most critically important steps, in my opinion, after not ignoring the money in the first place, because this is where you get to tell that new money where to go. This is where you get to tell that new money what to do. And that's a really, really powerful thing. Now, building that money into your budget doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be something you need to feel bad about. I know a lot of people out there think that budgeting is a bad word for some reason, and it really doesn't have to be. I mean, let's be honest. You got a raise. Maybe the first thing you want to do is take a little portion of that money and just say, you know what, that's mine. I'm going to go have fun with that every month because I deserve it. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're not putting yourself at a detriment as a result of not paying off things like debt. Now, on that topic, of course, if you have consumer debt or if you haven't fully funded your emergency fund, you probably should actually take your raise and put it towards those things completely. Because those things, getting rid of your debt, making sure you have that fully funded emergency fund, those things are what's going to help you build wealth in the long run. So those are your biggest tools for making yourself better in the future. So if you have those, probably do something about those first. But you know, if you don't, there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of that raise and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna go have fun with this. This is my money. I deserve it. There's nothing wrong with that. The biggest thing here, again, is to make sure that you're not ignoring the raise and you are building it into your budget. The biggest thing is to make sure that the money is going somewhere that is beneficial to you, and to make sure that you are the one who is telling it where to go. You are the one who is in control of the money. You're going to be the one to decide where it goes and what it does. That is the most important thing. Now, if you're listening to this and you're saying, Justin, I don't have debt. I've already got a fully funded emergency fund. I've already got plenty of spending money. I don't know what to do with this money. Well, I mean, what a horrible problem to have, right? So the third thing I really want to talk about here is what to do with that money in those situations. You're already in a pretty good spot. You've got a good raise, maybe even a small raise. Next thing we want to do is increase our net worth. Now, one of the easiest ways to increase your net worth, in my opinion, is just to focus on your retirement accounts. In all likelihood, you haven't maxed out your IRA yet. You probably haven't maxed out your 401k contributions yet. So either way, depending on your income, depends on which one you might want to use, but put the money in your retirement accounts. Buy into some S&P 500 index funds. You pretty much can't go wrong with that. And just don't worry about it. Put the money over there, let the money go, set it and forget it, and just move on with your life. Your future self will probably thank you. Now, if you don't like the idea of putting money into a retirement account, maybe you've already got your retirement set, you've already got plenty of money headed in that direction, and if you have kids, you may want to actually consider using your raise, using your money towards their college education. As we have seen these days, college debt can be a huge detriment to the start of a new adult life, and in some cases can be the ruin of it. So do your kids a favor. If you have the extra money, if you have the money to actually spend and give to them in that way, you can go open up a 529 plan. It's really easy. Start putting money in there. Invest into another S&P 500 index fund. Forget about the money. Don't worry about it. Your kids will probably thank you for it when they get to that point in their life. So if you don't like any of those ideas, I mean, hey, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. That's what I would do. The main point I really wanted to make here was that you should, number one, don't ignore the money, whatever you do. Number two, make sure you build it into your budget so that you can make sure that it's going towards getting control of your finances if that's where you are in your life. And number three, we want to make sure that that money is going towards increasing your net worth, or like I said, you can do whatever you want with it after that. It's really up to you. But hey, if you made it this far in the video and you found some sort of value in this, whether it be education or entertainment, do me a favor and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Smashing that like button tells YouTube that you enjoyed this content, and they use that data to help decide whether or not this video should be pushed to more people, so it really, really does help. I would appreciate it. Also, I make videos about personal finance, wealth building, and money management every week, so if you're into that stuff, do me a favor and subscribe down below. That also really helps. Now with that, if you're new to personal finance and you need a beginner's crash course, be sure and click on the video on the screen right now, because it will tell you everything you need to know about the basics of personal finance and get you on your path towards building wealth. Thanks for watching.